Welcome back to Midnight History Files. Tonight we travel to the year 1347. Europe is quiet in the early hours of morning. Farmers rise with the sun. Markets slowly open. Church bells echo across narrow streets. Life is not easy in the Middle Ages, but people understand their routines. Crops must be planted. Animals must be fed. Bread must be baked before the day grows warm. No one yet realizes that ships are approaching the ports of southern Europe, carrying something far more dangerous than merchants or spices. Somewhere far away in Asia, a disease has already begun its journey west. It travels silently through trade routes, through caravans, through ships crossing the Mediterranean Sea. Inside the wooden hulls of these ships are rats, small creatures that have lived alongside humans for centuries. Hidden in their fur are fleas. And inside those fleas lives a bacterium that will soon change the course of history. When the ships arrive in Sicily in late 1347, sailors are already sick. Many are dying. Their bodies are weak. Their skin darkens in strange patches. Fever burns through them. Within days, the illness spreads into the city. At first, people believe it is only another sickness, but soon, something terrifying becomes clear. This disease does not behave like anything they have seen before. At first, the symptoms seem simple. A fever begins suddenly. Victims feel exhausted, as if their strength has drained overnight. Headaches pulse behind the eyes. Breathing becomes difficult. Then the swelling begins. Painful lumps appear under the arms, around the neck, and in the groin. These swellings are called buboes. They grow larger each day, dark and tender. Soon the skin begins to discolor. Black and purple patches appear across the body. Blood vessels beneath the skin rupture, creating marks that look like bruises spreading across the flesh. The disease progresses quickly. Some victims die within 3 days. Others survive slightly longer, but the outcome is often the same. Families watch helplessly as loved ones grow weaker by the hour. Medieval medicine has no explanation. Doctors attempt treatments using herbs, bloodletting, and prayers. None of it works. Fear spreads through towns faster than the disease itself. Neighbors stop visiting one another. Markets become quiet. Entire households fall ill within days. People begin whispering a new name for the sickness: the Great Pestilence, what the world will later remember as the Black Death. As the plague spreads across Europe, cities begin to change. In crowded streets, the usual sounds of trade and conversation slowly disappear. Shops close their doors. Markets stand half empty. Many people try to flee the cities, believing the countryside may offer safety. But the disease travels with them. Entire families leave their homes behind, carrying only what they can hold. Roads become filled with travelers searching for escape. Churches grow crowded with frightened people praying for protection. Priests walk through the streets, offering blessings to the sick. But even the clergy cannot escape the illness. Many fall ill themselves after caring for victims. Hospitals are overwhelmed. In truth, they offer little help. Medical knowledge in the 14th century is limited, and no one understands how the disease spreads. Some blame poisoned air. Others believe the stars or divine punishment are responsible. In desperation, people search for someone to blame. Rumors spread quickly. Communities begin accusing outsiders, minorities, and strangers of causing the disease. Fear, grief, and confusion mix together. The Black Death is no longer just an illness. It has become a wave of panic sweeping across an entire continent. As the plague grows worse, cities attempt to respond. Doctors begin wearing unusual protective clothing. Long dark robes cover their bodies. Their faces hide behind masks with long curved beaks. Inside these beaks are herbs, flowers, and spices believed to filter dangerous air. These figures become known as plague doctors. To many citizens, they appear both mysterious and frightening. Their job is not only to treat the sick, but also to record the growing number of deaths. Each day they move from house to house, checking on the ill. Often, there is little they can do. Medicine during this time relies on theories about balancing the body's humors. Treatments include bloodletting, ointments, or herbal mixtures, but the plague does not respond to these efforts. Doctors themselves frequently become infected. The protective clothing offers little real protection. Still, they continue their work, because someone must face the illness directly. As weeks pass, the number of deaths rises rapidly. Graveyards cannot hold the growing number of bodies. Cities begin digging large burial pits outside their walls. Workers carry the dead through the streets in carts. Bells sometimes ring to warn others to stay away. Families are often unable to bury loved ones properly. Many victims are placed in mass graves without ceremony. The speed of the disease makes normal rituals impossible. In some towns, entire neighborhoods fall silent. Houses stand empty. Fields remain unharvested because farmers are gone. The scale of death becomes difficult to comprehend. Historians believe that between 1/3 and 1/2 of Europe's population dies during these years. Millions of people vanish in only a short time. The world people once knew begins to disappear. Yet life, somehow, continues. Daily life during the plague becomes strangely quiet. Those who remain healthy try to avoid contact with others. Doors stay closed. Streets grow empty. Some wealthy families isolate themselves in large country homes, hoping distance will protect them. Others cannot escape. Workers must still gather food. Bakers must still make bread. Many communities attempt early forms of quarantine, keeping ships or travelers isolated for weeks before allowing them to enter cities. These efforts help slightly, but the disease continues spreading. People begin writing letters, describing the horror around them. Some believe the world itself may be ending, but slowly, after several terrible years, the number of new cases begins to fall. The plague does not vanish completely, yet the worst of the disaster passes. Europe begins the long process of recovery. When the Black Death finally weakens around 1351, Europe is permanently changed. Entire villages have disappeared. Labor becomes scarce because so many workers have died. Survivors begin demanding higher wages. This shift slowly weakens the old feudal system that had controlled medieval society for centuries. Cities rebuild. Fields are planted again. Trade slowly returns. Yet memories of the plague remain strong for generations. People remember the fear, the silence of empty streets, and the loss of loved ones. The Black Death becomes one of the most devastating pandemics in human history, and a reminder of how fragile life can be. As night falls across medieval Europe, the world grows quiet again. The plague has taken millions of lives, yet humanity continues. Families rebuild their homes. Farmers return to their fields. History moves forward, slowly and quietly. But the memory of the Black Death will never fully disappear. It remains a reminder of how quickly life can change, and how even the greatest civilizations can be shaken by something invisible. If you enjoy exploring the deeper and darker chapters of our past, consider subscribing to Midnight History Files. Here we travel slowly through history, uncovering the realities behind the stories we think we know. Rest well, and I will see you in the next journey through the shadows of history.